up, fam? I really hope that you enjoyed my little video yesterday behind the scenes. In fact, I actually got some comments and some emails, I don't know how you found me, asking questions about my church, about the name, about why we meet in the movie theater. I thought today, because I got a lot of other stuff going on, why not I dedicate some time explaining why we do what we do and that sort of thing. So I feel like that's what this vlog is going to be. I'm trying this for the first time, so let's see how this works. All right. So here's essentially the main idea I want to look at today. Entrepreneurs, leaders, creators, their main job is to fight for a future that most cannot yet see. They can see something great that's about to happen and they fight for it with all their might, making sure that it comes to fruition. But it's hard because most people don't like change. Most people don't like anything different or anything new. And so one of the hardest parts of being a leader is to not just declare that you're going to do something, but first of all, it has to be a compelling vision, but also get a band of people around you that also at least somewhat agree with you that this is going to happen. And that's why a lot of people, even like Steve Jobs and other people, a lot of people initially, big, huge entrepreneurs and leaders, they kind of look foolish at first and crazy because they're fighting for something that in most people's minds, this makes absolute zero sense. There's no way this is going to happen. And so I'm not going to compare myself to Steve Jobs at all, but I feel like I'm in this position in my life where I'm fighting for something that most people cannot yet see. And so I get a lot of questions because they're seeing what's happening now and they're saying, why are you doing it? Okay, the way I want to approach this, I want to look at an overview of how my church began, why it is what it is, and that sort of thing. So it actually takes a little bit of history. So the first thing we have to know is in 2004, my father planted Heart Cry Church. But then I went to college, and I need to skip a lot of stuff or else this video will be really, really long. But the recession happened during this time. My dad went through a lot, but by God's amazing grace, even though a lot of churches shut down during that time because of the recession, we made it through. My dad made it through, and one of the biggest reasons was in 2012, my dad started Heart Cry Cowboy Church. We've actually had a ton of baptisms there. We've seen a lot of God's provision happen there. And that's when our mind shift changed. Wait a minute. We don't just have things where people come to us. We go to the people. I'm skipping a lot, but that's actually what led me to start Heart Cry Gathering January 10th, 2016. We had a great day. We had a bunch of baptisms that day, and it was an awesome launch. And the heart was, look, just like Heart Cry Church started Heart Cry Cowboy Church, we're now starting Heart Cry Gathering. A lot of people ask me, why did you leave Heart Cry and go start your own thing? God gave me 3 specific visions. And when it comes to the northern part of Queen Creek, the first vision is I want us to baptize 200 people by 2019. That is a super, super lofty goal. I know what's going to happen, but I'm not sure many other people are convinced of that. But I believe 200 baptisms in 3 years. Another goal is I believe God called us to create a safe and loving environment for LDS and atheists. The other thing we want to do is to mobilize college students. We prepare them and equip them to where when they graduate, they know so much about Jesus and they love him so much. Whatever job they get, whether across the street or around the world, they are taking that job with the intent of living life of a Jesus follower. We could do this at one location, but we can also do this at another location. Here's the biggest problem we ran into being called Heart Cry Gathering at the theater. Because we're at the theater, a lot of people thought we were a satellite church because you have a big screen. It kind of makes sense, right? And plus we're Heart Cry still. So a lot of people thought it's just a solution that we came up with where we streamed in Pastor Billy and they watched the message from the theater. At our church, we have our own messages. We have our own leadership team. We do our own things because we're reaching a different type of people. And so you have to do different types of things. So that was always been a really humbling thing on my journey of planting a church. A lot of people say, oh, but you're not a real church. That's always really cut me deep. In order to live a life and lead a church that's clear and compelling, we decided to have our name change reflect that. And most people, when they define my type of ministry, it's passion. If I have anything in my life, it's passion. And we love the creek, Queen Creek, and so we thought Passion Creek Church, boom. And so it enables us to effectively communicate to people better now that we are Passion Creek Church. Essentially what was happening, in fact, when I moved back, after I graduated college and went back home to do ministry with my dad, a lot of people thought I moved back into my dad's house. Mind you, I already had a wife and my wife was pregnant when we moved back home. So that didn't make any sense at all, but people just assumed that I lived at my dad's house. With Passion Creek Church, it's the same. I'm a part of this big family, but at the same time, it's not helpful for me as a family to have people still think I live at Dad's house. And so for us, we want to distinguish and say, look, we are part of the Heart Cry Network. We're part of the family, but we are also our own family, looking to have our own goals and do our own thing, because we have our own little quirks and our own little cultural weirdness that we have that we bring to the table. In life, people will always assume things about you. And sometimes I think it's not worth clarifying. Sometimes just let them assume things. Some people, you can never change their mind. But there's other things in life where assumptions actually lead to your destruction. And so it's important for you to call out the assumptions, name it what it is, because if we get rid of some of the distractions, some of the assumptions that people have about us, it actually enables us to make a bigger difference in this world. We had to clear up that assumption by changing our name, and it was been annoying. We had to reorder signs, everything. But I'm fighting for a reality that most people can't see yet. And I don't know about you, but I want to encourage you, are you fighting for a reality that most people cannot see yet? Fight for it. Don't let people discourage you because in the short term, it doesn't look like what you want is happening, but they don't know what can happen in the long term. And so for me, I have passionately fought for this vision that God has given me because I believe I'm not fighting for what's going to happen in 10 days. I'm fighting what's going to happen in 10, 20, 30 years. Is there something in your future that you believe will happen? Fight for it because nobody else will. And it's worth it. I believe I won't have regrets 10, 20 years down from now. Even though life is really, really hard changing people's minds today, I'm going to be so thankful for it in 20 years. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment. That helps me out. Also, tomorrow is a Q&Trey with my wife. Ask me marriage questions, parenting questions. Thank you for your time, and I hope this thing worked. Because look at this. Look what I did. It's so cool. I got this little, it's so ghetto, but it works, I think. Isn't that awesome?